Mr. Keller, opposition voices, and of course you can respond to what the advocate here is talking about. Opposition voices argue that this is as much about politics as it is for policy. I pointed out that 2027 is right around the corner. How do you respond to the charge, particularly coming from the opposition, that this is to curb the Muslim personal laws, and that UCC is about consolidating a vote base, that too so close to the elections?
I would like to make certain things very clear. When the learned advocate colleague, they mentioned that it is infringing the right to religion. I think he is totally misled by with this view, because the act nowhere prevents you or prohibits you from practicing your own religious practices and your belief. It is only in the civil matters which create legal disputes that government is trying to ensure that the citizens of the state are treated equally. And second thing, when we speak about the opposition, we have elections in the country almost every year. So
Yeah.
if any reform,
Okay, fine,
if
fine,
you
fine.
look from the views of that,
I agree
yeah,
with
if
you on
you
that
look
front.
that any
The
reform is
the opposition is
because of
also saying
election,
that
I think we
none of
cannot
those
conduct any reform in the
none of the
country.
recommendations were heard. There was no transparency in looking at those recommendations. So many of those recommendations were just quickly junked, thrown out the window altogether.
See, when we discuss about the Uniform Civil Code, I think we have set precedent in the Uttarakhand as well, and we have been having a very long-term debate on this. That this is not a new concept or new idea that has been brought. It is, as you rightly said, it has already been narrated very aptly in Article 44 of the
Yeah,
Constitution.
you're right. We've spoken about
Yeah.
that, Mr. Keller.
So to ensure,
Would you say that the Uniform Civil Code has been completely and socially accepted in the state of Uttarakhand?
see,
Because there are cases, people have fought for
yeah,
various cases. Yeah,
I'll tell you with one example.
yeah.
If somebody is performing any activity which is infringing the actual rights, basic rights, like we have seen in the case of the Sahbano, where she had to fight to Supreme Court to get her basic justice.
Yeah.
See, so we cannot override individuals' right to get justice just because some religion or some caste or some
No, you're absolutely
practices
right.
they
That's what the
prohibit them.
opposition is saying, that there are already various legal remedies at their disposal. They can make use of any of those legal remedies as well.
No,
Why a uniform
that
civil
doesn't
code
prevent
only for that?
a
Okay, I'll
state
ask you another question.
yeah.
Mr. Keller. Mr. Keller, addressing concerns about state overreach. You see, the bill mandates registration of marriages, divorces, even live-in relationships. Now, that can become quite problematic, and that's one of those, the lumps in the throat when you're talking about Uttarakhand, how people have not been able to socially, really swallow this law in. How do you address concerns of state overreach into personal lives? Sometimes it's the kitchen, sometimes it's the personal lives. I mean, these are important questions that need answers.
No, this is clear misconception when you are saying that state is interfering in the personal lives. State is it is the duty of the state to ensure that no citizen is exploited for the want of any regulation. Like in the cases of live-in relationships, also we have seen numerous cases where due to no regulation or no preventive measures available to the specifically to women, we have seen number of cases where they have been exploited, they have been left, or they have
Yeah.
been
No, that's great. That's great,
in
Mr.
a
Kela. There
situation
is a
where they have no
safeguard in
legal
place.
remedy.
Okay, let me give you a hypothetical situation. There is an interfaith couple that have now decided to live in together. So they have to get themselves registered. One of those process also involves putting it up on a notice board for the entire world to know that, you've got an interfaith couple that are living together without marriage in this particular place. In this particular place, there's an address. And then you've got some fringe groups, you've got fringe elements. What kind of safeguards do you have for that? People can be all sorts of questions are raised. People come in, barge into their homes. What kind of safeguards or safe rails do you have for cases like those?
There is already safeguard mechanism in place for any person who is trying to infringe personally into the lives of any other person. See, it is not the state that is infringing in the lives of anybody. State is giving the preventive measures. When there is injustice meted out to any citizen, then state's role is to give the preventive measures, to give them remedial measures in case where the cases like the live-in relationships, also the women particularly, they don't have any remedial measures when there is any dispute or any crime or anything that has happened against the female more particularly.